Good evening, I'm Chuck Adams, and now for some breaking news. Reports coming in from the UK of an unusual orb in the sky. Our British correspondent John Johnson is there. John, what can you tell us?
Well, Chuck, the people of Britain woke up this morning to a strange sight in the skies. A fiery phenomenon that locals are now referring to as the sky torch. We spoke with some eyewitnesses, and here is what they had to say.
Oh, it started like any usual spring day. It was like cold, grey and wet, and all of a sudden, like, there's this huge thing in the sky. It was like yellow, gold almost. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Hello and welcome to another episode of Embrace Your Outdoor Space. My name's Tommy Cross, and that thing up there is the sun. It's the first time we've seen it in spring, but it's a great opportunity to showcase our plant of the month. But in order to do so, first we need to go for a little bit of a walk. Now, the past year or so has led to many of us using whatever outdoor space that we have in order to spend time with our friends and our family, or just to unwind from the daily grind. Now, I like to think of the outdoors as nature's TV. You get a kind of visceral show of vivid colours, the sounds, the textures, the smells, and there is one plant that appears at this time of year which is worthy of an entire TV show of its own. The beautifully named Hyacinthoides non-scripta.
Tommy, that's a really ugly name.
Mate, I'm finished. English bluebell. You ruined the big reveal. Now, this amazing plant has to be one of the most papped plants in Britain right now. If you're lucky enough to come across this wonderful carpet of pastel blues and those light lilac tones, then the first thing you're probably likely to grab is your phone, and that's the only thing that you should grab, because these little guys are protective. These are a native species to the UK. Hashtag nature, hashtag lavender. Is it lavender? It's under threat from a few imposters. We'll come to those later on. But by all means, grab your phone, grab your camera, and maybe grab yourself the occasional one or two, but do not be tempted to take any of the bulbs home for your garden, because since 1981, the English bluebell has been protected under the Wildlife Conservation Act. And this is to make sure this is preserved for future generations to enjoy. So what do bluebells look like? Well, they look like bells that are blue. They are unmistakable in their look. They've got these wonderful bell-like petals. And those little yellow prongs laden with pollen and nectar make great fuel stops for the bees and other pollinators at this time of year. Do you know that bumblebees can actually get to the nectar without dipping their heads in? Some of them actually bite a little hole at the bottom of the bluebell and then drink it out from the bottom. They spend most of their time underground, and what you'll start to see in the midst of spring is these shoots appearing out from the ground, and all of a sudden, almost overnight, these dappled shady areas of woodland come alive with a whole carpet of that kind of pastel blue and lilac tones. Now, appearances can be deceptive because not all bluebells are English bluebells. The English bluebell does actually have a bit of a nemesis, Hyacinthoides hispanica. Now, whereas the English bluebell is lolling over rather drunkenly and looking a little bit floppy, the Spanish bluebell is stood to attention, much more virile and erect, showing off that wonderful flower and foliage.
Erect? Really?
Couldn't resist, mate. Now, there is a sensible point to me referencing the Spanish bluebell's potency, because it can actually outperform the English bluebell and soon starts taking over its natural habitat. But the two have got it on. And in fact, they've got it on so well that they've come up with a hybrid. Now, this is a different type of bluebell. You'll see this bears all the hallmarks of both parents. It's got that long, strong stem of the Spanish bluebells, but then, just like the English bluebell, it's got those delicate flowers at the top. But where can you find bluebells? There. There's some. They like areas like this. Tall trees with a high canopy which allows that dappled sunlight to make its way down to the woodland floor. And on the woodland floor, you'll also find a lot of leaf matter as well. And this leaf matter breaks down to form essential nutrients to keep those bulbs underground, well stocked. And all these nutrients and minerals are what turbocharge that bulb into exploding into life and creating this incredible carpet of colour on the woodland floor. And you'll notice that we're staying as far as we can, especially when we're walking, when we're filming here today, because by standing and trampling on the plant itself, you can actually cause irreparable damage, and the plant takes years to come back, especially if you trample on the foliage, because it needs that in order to photosynthesize. So if you are lucky enough to come across this wonderful sea of lilac blues and pastel shades, please tread carefully. I really wish you could smell what I can smell here. It's incredible. But here are 3 incredible facts about the bluebell. Fact number 1, they are blue. Well, they're kind of blue. They're more like a purpley lilac. Fact number 2, because bluebells take so long to establish, scientists, archaeologists and botanists sometimes use them to indicate areas of ancient woodland. Fact number 3, the bluebell is a protected species in the United Kingdom, and since 1981 it is illegal to intentionally remove the bulb or the plant for the purpose of selling. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Embrace Your Outdoor Space. I've certainly enjoyed being... Do you know what, I'm just going to leave it there, to be honest. I'll let you guys enjoy the calm and colour of a woodland walk.